Today, we're doing a deep dive into A Step in Time and its founder, Ray Gessner. And this isn't some startup. They've been in business for 29 years.
29 years, wow.
But the way Ray operates just completely breaks the mold. And to help us break this all down, you've brought a specific framework to the table.
I have. We are going to use a classic SWOT analysis. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
I usually associate SWOT analysis with, like, boring corporate boardrooms.
Usually, yes, but in this case, it's the perfect lens because when you look at this company, the strengths are so powerful, they actually create the weaknesses and fuel the threats.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
It's this fascinating interconnected web.
I love it. So we're going from Mary Poppins to, what, matrix-level engineering? Let's jump in. The S in SWOT, the strengths.
And based on the research, this really seems to start and end with the founder himself, Ray Gessner.
His resume is something else.
It really is. And this is where that whole guy with a brush stereotype just falls apart immediately. Ray Gessner isn't just a tradesman. He holds a master's degree in civil engineering.
Which, let's be honest, feels like complete overkill for a sweeping set.
If that was all he did, absolutely. But he's also a licensed professional engineer, a PE, in multiple states.
And he has a master's tradesman license too, right?
Yeah.
In HVAC and plumbing.
Gas fitting, yep. He stacked the deck.
Okay, I want to pause there because for a lot of people, the letters PC might just sound like another certificate you hang on the wall. Why does that title matter so much here?
That is the multi-million-dollar question. See, a certification, which most good sweeps have, means you took a course, you passed a test.
Right, it shows you the basics, it shows competence.
Competence, exactly. But a professional engineering license, that is a state-granted authority. It requires a university degree, years of work under another PE, and passing these incredibly tough board exams.
So it's the difference between a first aider and a surgeon.
That's a perfect analogy. When you stamp a report as a PE, you are taking legal responsibility for the structural integrity of that system.
Which brings us back to the courtroom thing.
Right. So Ray serves as an expert witness in court cases.
An expert witness.
Yes. Think about it. A house burns down. The insurance company says, sorry, pre-existing damage. A normal suite can offer an opinion.
There's just an opinion.
Exactly. Ray Gessner provides a forensic analysis that's admissible in a court of law. He's been in this industry his whole life. He knows the physics, the masonry, everything.
So he isn't selling cleanliness, he's selling liability management.
Precisely. And in our society, that is a massive, massive moat around his business. You can't just copy that. It takes a decade to earn that kind of credibility.
So that's the intellectual strength.
Yeah.
But the sources also point to a huge digital strength.
Oh, absolutely. They own the domains chimneysweep.com.
The singular.
And chimneysweeps.com, the plural.
Wow. That is the digital equivalent of owning the main intersection downtown.
It is. But it's not just the websites. We have to talk about the YouTube channel.
Yes. The research on this was wild. A Step in Time has the most subscribed chimney sweep training video channel.
In the world.
The notes say they have more subscribers than the rest of the industry combined.
Which is just staggering. And we'll come back to why that's so important later. But there is one more strength we need to hit.
Technology.
Artificial intelligence.
This part really surprised me. You expect AI in a tech startup, not in masonry repair. How are they actually using it?
It seems very practical. The sources say they're using AI for report generation and chimney diagnosis.
How's that work, though?
Well, think about how subjective a human inspection can be. A technician goes out, maybe he's tired, maybe he misses a tiny crack.
Or he just writes a vague note like, looks bad.
Exactly. Needs repair. What does that mean? But by using AI-driven programs, they can standardize that diagnosis. A photo of a flue tile isn't just a photo anymore. It's data.
So the AI helps generate a report that's super detailed and consistent.
And fast. It speeds up the workflow, sure, but it also reduces liability. It makes their standard of quality reproducible.
So let's recap the strengths. A founder who is a PE in civil engineering, owns the best domains, uses AI, and has courtroom-level credibility. It sounds like an unstoppable juggernaut.
It does. It sounds perfect. But this is why I love the SWOT analysis. Because those insane strengths, they create a massive weakness.
Okay, this is the W section. What could possibly be the downside here?
Let's call it the scaling paradox.
The scaling paradox. Okay, break that down for me.
Ray Gessner is the asset. He's the secret sauce. He's the PE, the expert witness. He's licensed in Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, all over. But
It's still just one guy.
physics is still physics. Ray cannot be in 5 states at once.
The classic founder bottleneck. You can't clone the genius.
But it's a bit worse than that. In a normal business, you document your processes, you write a manual, you hire a manager.
Right. Follow the checklist.
Exactly. But how do you write a checklist for have 20 years of structural engineering experience and a master's degree?
You can't.
You can't. And the sources highlight this. The witness is that while he's licensed as an engineer in all these states, he's not physically present in them. And finding partners is a nightmare.
Because the bar is just set too high.
Precisely. Most chimney contractors are great at what they do. But Ray needs partners who can operate under an engineering umbrella. And finding people who meet that standard, it's incredibly difficult.
So you have the credentials to operate everywhere, but not enough qualified people on the ground.
Correct. It's a huge talent gap. It puts a hard brake on any kind of traditional expansion or franchising.
That makes perfect sense. The downside of being overqualified, it's lonely at the top.
It is, and that leads us directly to the opportunities, because Ray has found a really clever way to turn that weakness into an opportunity.
And this brings us back to that YouTube channel, doesn't it?
It does. Now, most business owners in his position would hoard their secrets. They'd be terrified of competitors stealing their intellectual property.
Right. Don't teach them the trick or they'll steal our customers.
But Ray is doing the opposite. He's leaning into an abundance strategy. He makes hundreds of these free training videos. He shows exactly how to diagnose problems, how to fix them.
So he's just training the competition for free.
In a way, yes. But remember the weakness we just talked about, finding partners.
He's not just talking to homeowners. He's talking to other sweeps.
He's building a farm system. He's broadcasting his expertise to the whole industry. And this opens the door for joint ventures.
How would a joint venture work in this case?
Well, imagine you're a small chimney company in rural North Carolina. You're a hard worker, but you can't handle a complex structural repair. You don't have the engineering background.
So you're leaving money on the table.
Big money. But if you partner with a step in time, suddenly you're under the umbrella of a PE. You can use Ray's license for the complex jobs. You can use his AI reporting software.
That is so smart. It turns a competitor into a partner.
It solves Ray's scaling problem and the local guy's credibility problem all at once.
It's like he's building an operating system.
Wow.
The engineering, the AI, and letting other people plug into it.
That's a great way to put it. And it reinforces his business moat. His moat is his expertise. By sharing his tech, he invites others inside the moat, protecting them too.
But moats are defensive, which implies there's something to defend against.
Yeah.
And this brings us to the threats.
This was the most dramatic part of the research for me. You don't expect heavy industry politics in the chimney sweeping world.
No, you expect it to be pretty collaborative. But the sources suggest there's some real friction.
There is. It's classic tall poppy syndrome.
The idea that if one flower grows taller than the others, you've got to cut it down.
Ray is the tall poppy. The source explicitly says that industry leaders feel threatened by him, and it's obvious why. He is the only licensed and professional engineer in the entire chimney industry.
The only one. Seriously.
According to the material, yes, he stands alone. So in a world of certifications, he has the ultimate credential. And that scares people.
It scares them because it changes the standard.
Exactly. If you're a competitor, you're looking at Ray and thinking, if this guy makes engineering the new gold standard for safety, I'm out of business. They're afraid he'll dominate them.
So the threat is active resistance from the industry establishment.
The sources talk about historical pushback, efforts to keep him down over his entire 29 years in business. He's been held down by the industry gatekeepers.
That sounds exhausting. Fighting that current for 3 decades.
It is, but here's the beautiful irony. While the industry tries to hold him back,
He just keeps growing that YouTube channel.
he bypasses them. That is his counter-threat strategy. He goes direct to technician and direct to consumer. He doesn't need the approval of the old guard because he has the attention of the people actually doing the work.
That's a powerful lesson.
Yeah.
If the club won't let you in, build a bigger club online.
And invite everyone in for free.
Now, I want to pivot for a second. We've painted this picture of a very intense high-tech operation. It sounds a little cold, but the reviews and the company culture stuff I read don't give off that vibe at all.
No, and that's the final piece of the puzzle. You have to humanize the engineering. If you just market, we are structural engineers, you'll scare off the person who just wants their fireplace cleaned.
The reviews were so specific. They were saying, Frank was amazing, Daniel explained everything, Jeff showed me the photos.
That speaks to culture and training. Even though Ray is the brain, the technicians on the ground are the face.
And we absolutely cannot ignore the party deck.
The party deck, yes, a critical detail.
Explain this because it sounds amazing.
The company headquarters has this huge deck where they host concerts. The source specifically mentions a Bob Seger tribute band.
That's incredible.
They have community events, barbecues. There's a top hat club for loyal customers.
It's brilliant. It says, yes, we're the smartest people in the room, but we're also the people you want to hang out with.
It creates the friendly expert persona. You trust their competence because of the PE license, but you trust their intentions because of the party deck and the smiling tech named Frank.
It just completely balances the intimidation factor of the engineering.
Exactly.
So let's try to pull this all together. We've got the engineering strengths, the scaling weaknesses, the partnership opportunities, and the industry threats. If you had to distill this down to one key takeaway, what is it?
I think the key insight is that a step in time has fundamentally reframed what they sell. For 100 years, chimney sweeping was a maintenance product. My chimney is dirty, please clean it.
Okay.
Ray Gessner has turned it into a risk management product.
From cleaning to risk management, that's a huge shift.
It's everything. When you hire them, you aren't just buying a clean flue. You're buying the peace of mind that a professional engineer has certified your home is safe. You're buying documentation that stands up in court. You are buying safety.
And you can't really undercut that on price. You can say, I'll clean it for $50 less. But you can't say, I'll do a cheaper forensic analysis if you don't have the license.
Expertise is the ultimate insulation against commoditization.
That's a quote for the wall.
It's true, though. And it's a model that could apply to almost any trade.
It really does. It makes you look at those service trucks on the highway a little differently. You never know if there's a master engineer driving the schedule.
Or a Bob Seger fan.
Or a Bob Seger fan. Before we wrap, I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
Yeah.
We talk about how Ray gives his knowledge away on YouTube.
The abundance mindset.
Right. So here's the question for you. If you were in your industry, whatever it is, and you held a secret weapon qualification that nobody else had, what would you do? Would you lock it in a safe? Or would you put it all on YouTube?
That is the question. Do you build a wall or do you build a school?
Ray chose the school. And after 29 years of pushback, he's still growing.
And still innovating.
A step in time. A fascinating blend of civil engineering, AI, and rock and roll. Thanks for helping break this down.
My pleasure.
And to you, thanks for diving deep with us. We'll catch you on the next one. Stay curious.